Tom Bradford, God rest his soul, was a real champion for this, and I don't think we'd be standing here tonight without his advocacy. So let's give him a round of applause. That sounds good. And I know there are countless others in the room, so thank you for making this a reality. Also got to give a special shout out to the one and only Josh Martin with the City of Charleston, along with other city staff that have been pretty instrumental in getting this going. So look guys, I think this is going to be an incredible amenity for our community, for our citizens. This is going to be something that connects our city, kind of knits it back together. I think it's going to be not just a powerful piece of infrastructure. I think it's going to, again, bring communities back together that have been bifurcated by the highway system that we have over it. So really excited to get this going. Want to give also a shout out to Edifice, Pleasant Places, and the design team. I've got a list here, just want to make sure that I have all these books. Forsberg Engineering, Danny, of course Design Works, Scott Parker's firm. All of these guys coming together, Stitch Design, and the incredible branding that they've been able to do. It takes a village, folks, and again, this is a long time coming, so very proud to be part of it, very proud to be here tonight to kick this off. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Higgins.
So thank you, Mayor, and so you mentioned 15 years, which happens to be the exact amount of time that I've sat on City Council, which seems like a long time, right? So in my 15 years of being part of the city, I've got to do a lot of really amazing and cool things, but I'm going to tell you right now, standing here looking out at all of you right now, this is by far the coolest thing I've got to do as a City Council member, and the reason that we're here about to launch the project we've been talking about for all that time is because of every single person in this room. This project is going to transform Charleston and put us on the map in a way that we've never been before for the people who live here. So thank you for being there. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for believing in this project. And get out there and tell everybody that we are about to transform a city. We're going to unite it in a way it's never been united before. And Mayor Cogswell, thank you to you for picking up the mantle and making it a reality. So cheers to you, cheers to this project. Keep an eye on it, and it would not have happened without you. There's a couple of elected officials in here. I don't think we recognize Mayor. I see Senator Sutton here. So this is such an important project. They got out of Columbia to come down here today. So awesome. So y'all, cheers to yourselves. Great project, transformative. Never seen anything like it before. And 15 years was worth the wait. Trust me, it's really great. So thank you.
Now turn it over to the steward of the shepherd, the original, Scott Parker.
Mayor, thank you. Councilman Jenkins, thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for being here tonight. And what I'm going to do is just talk for a few minutes. I've got a few slides I want to share with you. If Josh, you want to go to the first one? Right, so 15 years is a long time, and so I've been very fortunate and honored to be a part of the Lowline for 15 years. So I was a founding board member of the Friends of the Lowline, and many of my fellow board members, I am no longer on the board, are here today. They came and met with us earlier. We had a little mini celebration and really kind of patted each other on the back because it's something that we've thought about for a very long time and it's finally happening. And it's really, from the beginning, it's been a vision of creating a place for the citizens of Charleston. This is not a place for visitors to Charleston. This is a place for us. And one of the things that we've always loved about the Lowline as we imagined it is, usually usually when we think of parks, parks are frequented by the people that live around them. So they're really neighborhood parks. And they're a part of our social infrastructure. It's how we come together, it's how we meet each other, it's how we enjoy our time together, and they really become a part of our daily rituals. And we have a corridor here in the lowline that, to be honest, our city has neglected for a very long time. We've really turned our backs on it. And so we have an opportunity to create this social gathering place for our neighborhoods. And so we're really imagining that. But what's even more wonderful about it is we touch 8 different neighborhoods with the lowline. And so while neighborhood parks really are about the neighborhoods, this is a park that really brings people together from all of these different neighborhoods in a way that really hasn't happened in our community before. And as you sort of imagine that in your mind's eye, it's really quite amazing and quite wonderful. And so we're really, really excited about that. And so we put together this team of professionals. They're all represented on the board here. And it's what's really cool about this is it's what we're calling a design build project. And so the design team is working hand in hand with the construction team starting on day 1. So we're able to take advantage of their construction expertise. They're able to tell us, well, that's a good idea, but if you do it this way, it won't cost as much, and you can get more bang for the buck. And so we're going to be working hand in hand from day 1. And Josh, who you're going to hear from in a moment, has got us pedal to the metal. He wants this thing to open as quickly as possible. So highlighted, they're all here. All of the firms are local Charleston firms. They're all around the room. The folks that have the name tags on, you'll see them. And this evening, what I would like for everybody to do is to ask them questions and give them your thoughts and your ideas. They're all here. We're here to listen tonight. But I want to emphasize, these are all local firms. These are people, this is our home. And so we're all working together to make our home better for all of us and all of you who have come here tonight. Josh, we've got a couple more slides. So what we're working on is what we're calling phase 1 construction. And so if you look at really the overall low line as it's imagined today, it runs from Marion Square, which is right there, all the way to Mount Pleasant Street, which is right there. And that's about 2 miles in length. The first phase is really the area that's highlighted in orange. So this is Line Street, so we're just a little north of Line, and we're going all the way to the north there. And so the vast majority of phase 1 is going to occur on property that is owned by the city of Charleston. So this was purchased from Norfolk Southern Railroad, I guess about 10 or 12 years ago. And so that's really where the vast majority of what's going to happen in phase 1 will happen. Where you see these arrows, the big arrows that go all the way through, those are cross streets. So those are public streets that cross under the elevated highway and will cross through the low line. And each one of those crossings, we're going to have what's called a mid-block crossing. So that's a safe way for pedestrians and bikes to cross a public street where there's not an intersection. And so those will occur in 4 places: Hugie, Romney, Cypress, and also at King Street. The other arrows that you see that are headed in a westerly direction, those are connections that we're making to the surrounding neighborhood streets. So at the end of each one of these streets will be a way for people to access the low line. Phase 1 will be 2 paths. One path will be for bicycles. It'll be 12 feet wide. So 6 feet for bikes going in one direction and 6 feet for bikes going in the other direction. Then there will be a planted median. It will be a minimum of 6 feet wide. And then there will be a pedestrian path that will be 10 feet
Okay, we got
And
space.
so we've learned our lesson from the Cooper River Bridge,
Yes.
where you can't put bikes and pedestrians that close together
Yes.
and have it feel safe and comfortable. So that's basically what will happen. So we'll have the dual paths, we'll have the connections, we'll have the mid-block crossings, and then on the southern end, we have a very large space, and you'll see it on the map that's in the center of the room, where we're going to create what we're calling Lowline Park. And what's really wonderful about that space is it has great visibility. So if you're coming into Charleston and you're using from 26 and you're using the Meeting Street exit, it's that big space that you see right there. And so that's being designed as a park. It's almost the size of Marion Square. So it's significant. And it will have paths that run around it. We're thinking right now it's going to primarily be an open space. There certainly will be trees for shade. There'll be a place for gatherings for the community, perhaps for events and things like that. But we would love to hear your all's thoughts on how that place should be designed, how it should operate, and what it should feel like. Let's go to the next one. I don't want to be talking the whole time. I want to give you all time to talk. So again, you know, from the very beginning, and these are, everything that you're seeing here are on boards that are located around the room. So if you want to look at it in more detail, please do. But this really goes back to looking at the low line within the collection of parks that we currently have on the peninsula. So, you know, creating a new park is a big deal. I mean, the last new park on the peninsula of Charleston was when Mayor Riley created the Waterfront Park. And that was probably, what, 40 years ago, something like that? So it's been a long time since we've had a new park. So this is a really, really big deal. And, you know, a lot has happened in the world of parks in the last 40 years. And one of those things that's happened is that cities are oftentimes struggling with how to maintain parks at a very high level. So what they're doing is they're programming their park spaces. And what I mean by programming is they're creating events, other things in park spaces, or they're having cafes that are located in park spaces. And these various activities generate revenue. And then the revenue is used to maintain the parks at a very high level. Probably the best example of this anywhere in the country is Bryant Park in New York. So if anybody's been there, there's concession stands, there's a cafe, they have events, and it's also one of the most beautifully maintained public spaces anywhere in the United States. And the reason it's maintained so well is because of the revenue that they generate. And because it's maintained so well, people love to go there. And they also love to go there because they can get something to eat and drink. So it all kind of makes sense. Josh is telling me I need to speed up. Keep going. So again, just this is what it looks like today. This is what we're imagining. Keep going. And these are all on boards around the room. Next one. These are some diagrams that we're looking at for the mid-block crossings. So one of the really important things that we're focused on is safety. So not just safety for bikes and pedestrians, but generally safety in the entire corridor. So it's going to be well lit along the entire length. There will be security cameras along the entire length. There will be access. One of the things that really works is just eyes on the space. It's called eyes on the street. So getting it, opening the corridor up to get the public in there will really enhance the sense of safety throughout this entire area. But a very big focus for the entire design team as we're looking at this. Next one. Stormwater management. We met with the city stormwater department today. You know, any public space in our city has a responsibility to deal with stormwater management. Actually, anything on the peninsula of Charleston, or anything really within the entire city, has a responsibility to deal with stormwater management. So So we're working on our strategies for that. We're working on strategies for what do we do when we're connecting to the neighborhood streets? How do we address stormwater there? How do we do it so that any stormwater that's being generated by the improvements that we make, we're managing, taking care of, cleaning it, and sending it back into the earth? Next. Park features, so that includes planting. A big part of the design team is landscape architects. And we love gardens, we love trees, we love plants. So trust me, it's going to be an amazing place in that regard. From the standpoint of furnishings, so we're talking about opportunities for seating, lighting, bike racks, trash receptacles, all very important. The city has certain standards that they're accustomed to using. We're going to investigate those. We're going to look at new ones. We're going to work with the School of the Building Arts to potentially have them help us figure out what should happen. Next one. When we created the conceptual plan a number of years ago, that was in the middle of COVID. We did some community outreach as much as we could. So we've heard from the community, but we're really looking for your input tonight. And there's an opportunity around that table to put notes, write down what your thoughts are, what your ideas are, what your concerns might be, and also please talk to any of the members of the design team. Next one. So now I'm going to turn it over to the fearless leader of this entire project, Josh Martin, with the city, and so you can hear from him.
Thanks, Scott. So thank you all. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I know Thursday nights, this may not be your preferred choice of activity, but we appreciate you joining us and participating in this. Just a few words before we kind of break free. This is a very kind of casual tonight. We're not designing anything tonight. We haven't designed anything today. We wanted to have a check-in, a kickoff meeting to tell you how you can stay involved in this process moving forward. So I think one of the first things, we've launched a new website called lowline.info. This is the homepage. Right now it's just a splash landing page where you can do everything but register for future updates. You can email, it actually comes to me personally, and we can answer all your questions or comments, say comments as we're moving forward in this process. So this is our new website. Thank you, Stitch. We did this all together in I think 6.5 hours and put it together and had it up and running and going live. So that's important. Going back to just a little bit about the public realm. This is a city that's built on public realm. It's that space between the private realm and what is really interesting about what's going on right now in the city is we're seeing the largest emergence of public realm ever since the city's founding, 1670 and 1680, whichever date you'd like to use. So it's between this project on the peninsula. It's a $100 million bike ped bridge that's being built to connect West Ashley, the city's first suburb, with bike and ped facilities to downtown, which will then connect to Hugie Street, which will then connect to the Low Line, which will then connect to Morrison Drive and take you across the Ravenel Bridge. And then finally, at the price tag of to be determined, but probably a lot of money, will be the low battery extension, and that's a shift from what was first considered to be this building a wall around our cities. When we went to our water's edge, we would look out to a wall, and we felt that that was completely inappropriate and completely not trusted. So we're using the things that work, that we know and we love, and a 9-foot finished floor elevation can go up to 12-foot floor at a storm event, is the low battery extension, and that will extend from, hopefully in all phases, the Joe Stadium all the way down to the west side of the peninsula, connect to the existing battery, and then go back north, all the way up north of Columbus Street to Johnson Street. and that would be a trail that you could essentially 8.6 miles that would walk around the entire peninsula of Charleston, again connecting this. So we are at a critical time. We're making investments and of this infrastructure. It's about people, and it's about creating great places, supporting local initiatives, whether it's local businesses or other local things, eco corridors, bringing back our ecology and what have you. And so we're super excited. We're going to go as fast as humanly possible, and I mean that very truthfully, and to get this designed and constructed. And I think that the mayor said maybe a year from now. I'm going to say maybe 8 months from now. And so I think that's exciting, and we'll stay on this. And I'm working on this personally every single day, and it's become kind of an obsession that we need to do this and make sure that we get this exactly right, down to every border width and down to every granite detail of the trail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, we want to build something that's safe, reliable, predictable transportation route. And it's great for recreation, it's great for public health, it's great for connecting neighborhoods that maybe have not always been connected for a long time. And something that we can all be proud of, and just again another extension of the Charleston Public Realm 2.0 as we're moving forward. So thank you all for coming. We have stations and all the team members around the room tonight to answer questions and take comments. The center table setting is our important part, where we have the large base map at 10-foot length to take any future comments or questions. We've got sticky notes, you can put those down there. We're all here until 6:30, and then we're happy to answer any questions from all of you, or just have a general chat. So again, thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for City Council and the Mayor for their support, undoubtedly, of funding this and taking the first step and making this truly a reality. So thank you all very much, and we look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you.
I sure didn't mean to rush by. You're actually someone I talked to. I'm a lifelong I've done great projects. Yeah, and I live right across the riverside. So we have community. I'm on the Kilo ARB review board right now. Our company is all over. And you guys do a great job.
Good to see you, Brenda.
remember to come back for, let's see.
Good. They got something right on time up there. They got started like right on time.
Let me know. You got my email?
They were not messing around.
Yeah, I'm right there at Ensenada.
The guy gave us a little time to bike down.
Give me a holler for that.
And I was actually like mingle.
Hold up. Ed.
Yes.
That worked at Ed.
Yes.
Brenda.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah.
About the entrance.
You've come a long way, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been watching this.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You had a purpose and a plan and you executed it.
I'm trying. I was just telling. We did budget up there this week in Columbia. It was tough. It was a tough sledding, but we're making small progress.
Easier than the former life in the air.
In some ways, it's similar. One of my jokes, because our caucus numbers are so low right now on the Democratic side, one of my jokes is like, it's kind of like being in Afghanistan again. I'm surrounded. And I'm excited. Amy and I were living here a decade ago. They were talking about this.
And you see how it's and we just feel long enough.
Yeah.
It's like I used to walk with Jenny Deere, and that's when the railroad ties were still in.
Yeah.
So it's like even like I needed to do some walk, but I'm like I don't want to walk in the park. I just literally want to and not break my ankle. But we've had a good stretch. Like I tried to tell somebody, I said, you haven't had a walk until you walk this stretch to Mount Pleasant Street and back.
Yeah.
Especially on a hot day, you've got shade. The connector works.
That's fucking good. It's good to see you.
We'll answer one question. Now, how is it being in office?
It is a lot of work. There's no question about that. And especially in Charleston, the biggest thing is flooding. Like that is the #1 call that I get every single day. It's whether like ditches overflowing people's backyards. So like we got some pretty big heavy lifts. I know one that was briefly mentioned tonight was the seawall. Of course, that can't get here soon enough because downtown, I mean, we're seeing streets on sunny days are flooding now. So we got to take care of it.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I'm like, you have leaks? Oh no, that's just high tide.
Yep.
Now you've been in office how long?
Since November, so I'm still a freshman.
You're a
Up there in
freshman.
Columbia. We're busy. Like I said, we just got done with budget, so fighting to bring as many dollars back down here as we possibly can. I think we got a lot of money for a new engineering building at the
The cool part about it is, I know that you know these streets. You know this city. You've got good ground game.
Yeah.
Oh, but I want to put one. Hey, do you know that we've got there are only 5 female firefighters in the city of Charleston,
I did not know that.
and one of them is stationed right down the street.
I'm glad to hear it's from the neighborhood. Yeah.
Now, if it falls under your realm, their arch looks like hell, and they need a little fixing.
All right.
Now, don't close them for too long, man.
I'll put it on the list. It's so good
to
seeing
see you.
Yeah.
And congratulations again.
Thank you.
And people who are in this lane because they never can, they're like, they just like try for yellow lines.
Just period. That whole section coming from me, and you're standing not gonna have it. Come along. So we got to walk this with Jenny Deere and some donkeys here. So
Are you excited for the fun?
I'm more than
That's my really so maybe
it's good. Even though
it's not because
we're not always heaven. Because you get tired of walking in there. I mean, I really wouldn't even have to cross the street. Because I'm right at Ensenada. Walking back there to work. Definitely. Between that and 100-year urban farm. June will be 15 years I've been in Charleston. October will be 12 years I've been in I don't need to go. I don't need much. Don't like high school sit down. If it gets cold, I get the hell out. Alright. I think I've got enough shot. How you doing? Yeah. Well. Pardon me?
In addition to the light rails? Oh, there's light rails in the picture.
I just want to zone in on where are we?
There's like this one. Might get hanging in. It's not that busy.
Remotely.
Kind of cool, so it drops out right over here next to kind of right here.
Yeah, we're right here.
I'll look into it. I'll grab a drink. How are you, Miss Brenda?
Hey, how are you? Hey, it's been a while. How are you?
Are you here?
Watching something come to fruition. Yeah.